Yeah, the windshield wipers work on rain, not the others.
True,
Yeah,
true.
it has been a rainy day, but things are going to be improving as we go overnight and especially tomorrow and the weekend. It'll be our first completely dry weekend in a while. So we've got that to look forward to as the weather changes for the dryer. 57 degrees, still raining lightly in Portland. The breezes have kicked up at 17 miles an hour. And boy, we had some strong winds on the coast earlier today as our cold front moved onshore. Still some pretty good lines of showers here. We're not getting the lightning strikes offshore like we did yesterday, but still there has been rain for a good part of the day and it's still continuing at this hour. But look at the rainfall totals. I mean, the airport only 1/1500ths of an inch. More than that in most other locations. Scappoose about a ½ an inch. Troutdale is now over ½ an inch, and we're about a ½ an inch in downtown Portland too, and pushing an inch from Hoquiam down to Tillamook. So it's been a rainy day, but the rainfall amounts generally beneficial. Now we still have some pretty big swells being measured by the buoys offshore in the teens, even 19-footers right along the Oregon coast. So for that reason, we still have the high surf advisory, but only until 7 o'clock tonight, and yet another coastal flood advisory. Again, look at the time here, only from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., coinciding before and then after the high tide, which is another 10-foot tide tomorrow. It'll be the third day in a row we get an afternoon high tide that is 10-foot plus, which means we may get some minor coastal tidal overflow flooding along the low spots along, say, Highway 101. But then by tomorrow, those coastal warnings should be over. And boy, the coastal winds have really dropped off from what they were earlier in the day. Garibaldi this afternoon had a gust of 79 miles an hour. Pacific City and Astoria around 60 miles an hour. But the winds, while in some cases stronger than what we had yesterday, the duration was a lot shorter. So it was a quick burst of strong winds here. Salem a gust of 36 just like yesterday, and up at the top of the Magic Mile chairlift at Timberline, 80-mile-an-hour gusts early this morning. Now tomorrow early in the morning, there'll be a few showers around, but by late morning they're over. And then we see some sun, and then that's the beginning of our dry spell, which should last well into next week. But here's our current storm spinning its way up to the Haida Gwaii, and as that moves on out, high pressure will begin to build on in from the west. But we're not quite done. We still have showers tonight. The rain that we have will decrease, but showers still coming and going. And tomorrow, there's a line of showers right around 6 to 7 a.m., so potentially wet for the morning commute, but not as wet as this afternoon's commute. And then tomorrow afternoon, it's all dry, and it stays that way. What we'll see this weekend, though, look at the arrows. Strong east winds developing in and through the gorge. Nothing unusual for this time of the year, but Corbett, Crown Point, gusts of 50, 60, Troutdale, gusts of about 30, 35, maybe 40. High pressure building on in. That's the reason for our change to drier weather for the weekend and beyond. Look at this. That's through Sunday, right? Monday, perhaps a weak system to our north with some light showers, but right back to dry weather for later Monday, Tuesday, and I think Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday night or Thursday before we see the rain return. And even when it does, it won't be as heavy as the rain that we've seen this week. 62 is our high temperature today in Portland. Right now, it is 57 with the freezing level at 8,800 feet. Okay, then tonight, look for the rain to drop off. Tomorrow, showers end after the morning. We have a little bit of sun tomorrow, high of about 56. Then on Saturday, fog in the morning, sun in the afternoon. The east winds will ensure that we have no fog on Sunday, just a lot of sun, some scattered high clouds, but a really nice weekend. And Monday looks dry, and Tuesday looks dry. And Wednesday night into Thursday, maybe some showers roll our way, but nothing as dramatic as the rain of this week.
I gotta say, 63 on Sunday, though. How about that?
I know. You've quickly become my favorite coworker.
For now.
Thanks, Matt.
You bet.
Change, right?